With a very well-received Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse film, we finally got to witness a union between Spider-Man Miles Morales and Miguel O'Hara. The film revolved around Miles setting out on an adventure across the multiverse with Gwen Stacy. He got to meet the Spider Society led by Miguel O'Hara, or the Spider-Man 2099, which exposed us to a strange new timeline. Unlike the other Spideys who are from different worlds, Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man 2099 is from the same continuity in the world of the default Earth, also known as Earth 616. In fact, Marvel 2099 is one possible distant future of the mainstream Marvel universe. This verse has also been designated as Earth 928 or Earth 616 circa 2099. In this timeline, Marvel explores futuristic versions and concepts of various Marvel characters, bringing us 2099 versions of Spider-Man, Hulk, the Punisher, and several Spider-Man villains within this dystopian future. Needless to say, the future experiences extreme technological advancements in which reflect it in its heroes and villains. Some of the Spider-Man villains do not even have superpowers, as the futuristic gadgets are good enough to get the evil job done. With Marvel 2099 exploring themes such as corporate control, overly advanced technology, and the struggles of being a hero, Spider-Man 2099 often finds his nemesis in people who have powerful positions in society, or robots, or people who create robots. As such, today's video will be about 10 villains from the future of 2099 who have given Miguel O'Hara a hard time. But before we get into the content, we would like to make a very small request to our viewers. Please subscribe to our channel, like and comment on our videos, and press that bell icon to get notified whenever we upload new content. We would be grateful to you, and we hope to bring you the best nerdy content. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Thanatos. Originally the personification of a peaceful death in Greek mythology, Thanatos finds his MCU counterpart in the 2099 alternate reality Rick Jones. In this reality, Rick Jones stayed with the Kree Supreme Intelligence in Kree Lar following the war between the Kree and the Skrull. During this time in Kree Lar, he learned how to use the Destiny Force to its full potential. He used this newfound ability to eliminate the Supreme Intelligence and subsequently walked toward the path of evil. Soon he became a villain that almost every hero from the 2099 Marvelverse would fight against, as he embarked on a quest to merge with the other Rick Jones, forming the ultimate Rick Jones. Miguel O'Hara's Spider-Man encountered Jones, or rather Thanatos, when the former had to rescue Dana and Tyler Stone from his grasp. For this reason, he opted to swap his position with his lover Dana, offering himself as a hostage to Thanatos. At this point, Thanatos had become greatly powerful due to his ability to use the Destiny Force. This allowed him to alter reality, at least to some extent. He could also shoot Fury I-beams, enlarge his physical size, and withstand great damage. Of course, he had the standard superpowers of enhanced strength and reflexes as well. This was amplified by his superior martial arts and gymnastics, which had been taught to him by Captain America himself. When it came to weapons, Thanatos relied on the Spear of Destiny. Meanwhile, he used his hover ship to dimension hop. KRON Stone versus Venom 2099 and Scorpion 2099. In this timeline, Spider-Man found his half-brother and nemesis in the same man, KRON Stone. He lived a sorrowful early life where he suffered at the hands of an android housekeeper. The resulting trauma made him a violent man who soon became responsible for killing the family of the 2099 Punisher, invoking the wrath of Jake Gallows. The ensuing battle between KRON and Punisher 2099 ended with KRON Stone's loss, as he was dumped into a sewer by Gallows. What could have been the worst moment of his life soon became the most promising, with Stone finding the Venom symbiote while on the verge of death. With the alien parasite bonding with him, a new Venom was born. In this timeline, Venom 2099 had other new abilities due to continued mutation, which allowed him to spit acidic saliva and blood. Because the symbiote bonded with KRON on a molecular level instead of simply attaching itself into the man's body, KRON Stone attained an amorphous physiology that gained the properties of the alien symbiote. Stronger than ever before, Venom 2099 decided to turn his half-brother into his next victim, and decided to do so by hurting the people Miguel was close to. He also became responsible for killing Dana. Meanwhile, KRON Stone appeared as Scorpion 2099 in Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which was a 2010 video game. Here, Stone used to be the spoiled and cruel son of Tyler Stone that is the leader of Alchemax. An accident involving DNA splicing and combining led to Stone becoming a hideous humanoid scorpion due to his mutation. Frustrated over what had happened, Scorpion 2099 wreaked havoc across Nuevo York City, city and desperately tried to find a cure. The chaos led to him encountering Spider-Man 2099, where the futuristic Spider-Man had to fight against a mutant in his scaly armored skin. Scorpion 2099 also had a scorpion-like pincher instead of a right arm. Meanwhile, his long tail could shoot acid, which made him a super hard foe to fight for the wall crawler. The Specialist. In 2099, the Specialist was a samurai warrior who worked under the Stark Fujikawa megacorporation. He was sought out by Alchemax Vice President Tyler Stone as he needed a samurai to kidnap a woman named Casey Nash. While trying to fulfill his duty following Casey's eventual escape, the Specialist came face-to-face with Spider-Man 2099 as the two engaged in combat. It ended with the Specialist's easy victory as he almost unmasked Miguel O'Hara. However, Spider-Man 2099 had webbing under his mask to prevent his identity from being revealed if someone tried to unmask him. The ensuing battle once again commenced with Spider-Man holding the shorter end of the stick. However, he accidentally slashed at the samurai with his talons, which led to the latter's death. Being a samurai, the Specialist was highly capable despite not having superhuman powers. He was trained in several martial arts and could wield traditional but technologically adapted Japanese weapons alongside having proficiency in swords, nunchucks, and shurikens. He was also a hovercraft pilot. Doom 2099. Doom 2099 was not very different from Dr. Doom when it came to attributes, as both of them were extremely intelligent. They also mastered sorcery and science, and they sported their respective signature suit of armors. In this narrative, Victor Von Doom one day found himself in 2099 Latveria, which had its new ruler in the cyborg Tiger Wilde. He soon learned how Doom's absence in the past led to Latveria becoming leaderless. For this, Wilde had to take the throne to protect the place from being annexed by corporations. Doom continued to furiously advocate for Wilde's removal from its throne, leading to a battle between the two. However, Wilde's access to futuristic technology led to his victory, following which Doom was eventually ejected from Latveria for being an imposter, as his original face did not match up to the one in the history books. Tarot reader Fortune took this opportunity to take Doom to his descendants, as she too wanted Wilde out of the throne. Doom eventually made new allies and gained access to nanotechnology. With time and tech, his neural capabilities and motor responses improved, and he built a new suit of armor with stolen pixel technology. He regained the loyalty of the Latverian public by handing out food to the masses. Wilde was overthrown and the two fought once again, but this time Doom used his technology to win and regain control over the 2099 version of his capital city. Doom 2099 eventually teamed up with the likes of Ravage, the Punisher, and the 2099 Spider-Man to bring down Valhalla, which soon became a new province under Latveria. With his superpowers, he could exchange minds with others. He could also invoke mystical entities, cast bolts of eldritch energy, and was a genius when it came to cybernetics, robotics, physics, weapons technology, genetics, biochemistry, and time travel. Goblin 2099. Goblin is one of Spider-Man's most consistent and iconic villains, so much so that Spidey has always had to face a goblin in every continuity, which has brought him face to face with the likes of the Hobgoblin and of course, the Green Goblin. Naturally, it only made sense for Spider-Man 2099 to find a nemesis in Goblin 2099. Originally an ordained priest from St. Patrick's Cathedral known as Jennifer D'Angelo, she also happened to be the sister of Dana, that is Miguel's lover and fiancée. She became the Goblin to replace Spider-Man as the protector of downtown Nueva York and its people. For this reason, Goblin had created a rumor that Spider-Man was a corporate sellout who worked for Alchemax, as she hoped that this would defame him. This also led to her working alongside Vulture to bring down the web-slinger. This Goblin acquired its powers from Jennifer's suit, which allowed her to be invisible and have limited flight. She also possessed abilities such as electric shock grenades and virtual reality hallucination powers. Vulture 2099. A man who developed a taste for human flesh rightfully adopted the moniker of the Vulture after he became the possessor of a flight suit. He had saved Spider-Man from the public eye officers in a previous incident. He then took the superhero back to his own lair and tried to recruit him into his violent clique of the Freakers. However, he also presented the ultimatum that if Miguel refused to accept his proposal, the Vulture would eat him. Spider-Man 2099 soon learned that the man was a cannibal. Naturally, he attacked the villain and the fight almost overwhelmed Spider-Man. Fortunately, he was saved by reinforcements brought in by Casey. He then managed to gain the upper hand, which ended with the Vulture's accidental death as the latter fell to his death, while Spider-Man could not save him due to his injuries. The suit Vulture 2099 possessed was similar to the one sported by the present-day Vulture. It had a flight harness as well as weapons that turned into claws. The 2099 Vulture suit also allowed him to shoot from his hands. Flipside, an android created during the heroic age. Flipside's programmed objective was to adopt the powers of the first superhero it would encounter. He was later kept by Pack-Rat and his band of thieves, with everyone assuming that Flipside was broken. But on the flip side, pun intended, Android had been locked in scanning mode as it tried to adopt one of the superhero files that it had. Spider-Man had been brought in by the band of thieves to repair the machine, leading to Flipside encountering his first hero in Spider-Man 2099. However, despite scanning Miguel's Spider-Man, he was unable to identify the hero. As such, he adapted by combining his Spider-Man and Venom templates, thus turning himself into a psychotic Spider-Man who wanted to befriend Miguel O'Hara. Ultimately, Flipside ended up massacring Pack-Rat's thieves and men. Having adapted into both Spider-Man and Venom, Flipside had a combination of powers possessed by the symbiote and the 2099 web-slinger. He also had the power mimicry of the super adaptoid. Tyler Stone, the vice president of Alchemax Corporation and the head of its research and development. Tyler Stone was probably Spider-Man's 2099's greatest foe. Interestingly, he also happened to be Miguel O'Hara's former mentor. Tyler controlled one of the largest corporate powerhouses across the globe and tested on humans for his business. This led to a non-Spider-Man Miguel growing concerned, while Tyler used this moment to distract his mentee by getting him engrossed in the rapture. Unsatisfied by Tyler Stone's actions and attempts to blackmail him, Miguel experimented on himself, and a resulting explosion led him to becoming Spider-Man 2099. Tyler's Alchemax division was so powerful that not only did it control all of Nuevo City, but it also owned a police force known as the Public Eye. Despite his ensuing enmity with Spider-Man 2099, he was secretly Miguel's biological father as well. Dr. Alexei Kronos. A figure who was invaluable in the creation of drone technology, Dr. Alexei Kronos was a robotics expert. He was also succeeded by Victor Von Doom in the field of robotics, who interestingly happened to be his student. Kronos eventually created a robotic body to advance his own life, but soon was hired by a terrorist group known as the Fist to create robots. These robots are also meant to attack Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City. Meanwhile, Miguel had grown tired of the hero life after almost killing one of the culprits of a crime. Following his departure from the superhero scene, he accepted Peter Parker's job offer to work at Parker Industries and went out on a date with Tempest at Bijou Restaurant and Tapas Bar. He soon learned that Tempest was pregnant, but before she could completely reveal the information, a car slammed through the window and seemingly killed her. It was soon revealed that she was killed by a robot designed by Doom's teacher, Alexei Kronos, which led to Miguel getting into the Spidey suit once again. He then tried to infiltrate Dr. Kronos' base, but was prevented from doing so by the man of the hour himself. The two of them soon battled one another, which led to Miguel's victory as he used a hologram to trick Kronos. He then interrogated the man and learned about his organization, only for Kronos to die soon after due to his life thread being cut by the god of fate, Isa. Electro 2099. We closed the list with Electro joining the roster of the heroic age Spider-Man villains who found a place in the futuristic 2099 Marvel timeline. Max Dillon used to be a robot construction worker, but his subpar abilities led to his creators being dissatisfied with his work. He was soon sent to torture experimenters, where the ensuing traumatic experiences led to a short circuit of his obedience chip. This resulted in the android gaining sentience. He also learned to harness electrical energy, thus requiring access to powers similar to the heroic age Electro, such as electrostatic energy generation, lightning projection, electrocution, and the likes. Miguel encountered him while investigating Dr. Kronos' organization Fist, where the former was accidentally sent to another version of the year 2099. In this version, Electro 2099 had become a part of the Sinister Six alongside Dr. Octopus, Sandwoman, Goblin, Vulture, and Venom. Together they had control over Alchemax and ruled Nueva New York. With the Fist tampering with time events using their time machine, Miguel captured Electro 2099 and had Lila interrogate him for more information. Marvelous verdict. The Marvel 2099 verse may not be super popular, but its cool additions, themes, and stories have often made appearances across the Marvel storyline. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is the latest of such examples, considering how the film follows endless possibilities within the Spider-Man universe. And with that, today's video comes to an end. What do you think of these 10 futuristic villains? Did you enjoy this video? If so, then don't forget to like and comment on this video. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.